Hey everybody, so this is the last video for this week's class. As you can see, I have two of the same objects from last week, and I said to use 3 objects this week, or 2 to 3, now I can't remember what I said. I added some pearls to make it a little bit more interesting. And now I'm going to block it in. I'm going to show you. Now, one thing that I noticed last week's with last week's work, when I was looking at your work, is that people were not filling in the objects. They were just drawing the outline and leaving them blank. The idea is that you're shading them in. You're like coloring them in, for lack of a better word. So you should really be filling up the page. You shouldn't be leaving too much white. But don't worry, we're going to get there. So now I'm just sketching in everything that I see. I'm not finishing one object and then going to the next. I'm lightly putting everything I see in. It's a weird angle that I'm at because I needed to do it this way so you guys could see the drawing and my still life, but it makes it hard for me to draw in a way that's comfortable. So you just kind of have to bear with me here. And I'm going off the page, just lightly sketching in the pearls. And I'm going to come back to that. Now the pearls are white, but they're not going to stay white on my paper. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say filling it in. Is that now I'm just using the vine charcoal because this is the lighter charcoal. So the medium or the willow, you want to kind of go in with the vine, the long sticks. That's what you want to go in first with. The other charcoal is that when you really want to get the darks in, which I'm going to do shortly. Now it doesn't matter that this pot isn't black, like it's not an actual black color. It's a black and white drawing, so I'm going to shade it in using blacks and grays and whites. I'm not going to make whites by leaving the paper white. I'm going to make white by using my eraser, which I cannot find. Give me a second. Oh, here's one. Okay. So, then I can start to go in with the dark charcoal. Now I'm looking for the shadows. Shadows can be on the ground, and you can put a piece of white paper underneath your setup, which I forgot to do. But when you put the white paper underneath your setup, you're going to see the shadows. I see a shadow right here. So I'm going to fill that in with my darkest dark. Okay? Now remember, you're going around. If your orange is round or your object is round, you're going around. You can use your finger, okay? Or you can use your chamois. Okay, and then I'm coming around here. And I can use the different charcoal, and even break it off. Use the side of it. Okay, and now I see the highlights here. In here, you guys can't see it on that side, but like wherever it's really bright. So then I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase those, okay? You can fill in and then you can erase them. You can use your eraser as a drawing tool. We're going to do more of this in the coming weeks, but you can start now by just using it as like when you need to add white, you can just pull it out with the eraser, okay? You see my drawing's really messy, and that is okay. It's going to be messy. Messy is okay. I like messy personally, but I know it can be uncomfortable when you're first drawing because you feel like everything's supposed to look exactly the same. That is not the case. So then I'm going to go in. I'm going to shade in my pearls because what I'm going to do is why doing drawing objects that are white is actually really helpful when you're beginning drawing, because it eliminates color and all you see is black and white, which is what you're drawing with. You're drawing with black and white. You're drawing with black charcoal and you're pulling whites out with the eraser. Okay? Oops, so many things to handle. And so you can smudge those, and then you can go in with your eraser and just draw the pearls with your eraser. Now make sure you're looking at what way the light's coming in. Now, if you guys want, I'm more than happy to continue working on this, and I will show you my finished product next week. And there's some really dark lines on this coffee pot. You can clean up the edges by going around the outside. Okay? But I also said I want you to use the whole page. So you see how big this is? I want you to put in the surface that the objects are sitting on. And like I said, if you put a piece of white paper underneath, it makes your job so much easier to see the shadows, because it's just you're looking at black on white. And I'm going to keep going in. I'm going to keep working on these pearls. They're a lot of work. Okay. And you can go in with like the corner to make a sharper line. And you can also use the darker charcoal. You can get a sharper line with that charcoal. You see the difference? If you want to make your lines a little sharper, use the little corner, okay? I have like bubble wrap stuck to my foot. And I want you to add a background. So like I said last week, you don't have to draw what's really in the background, because as you can see, like there really isn't much behind my objects. But I want you to like use the whole page. So even if it's just some lines to kind of show where one part of the picture ends and another part begins. Okay, now I'm going to keep working on these pearls. And you can see the difference between the dark charcoal, this pastel chunky charcoal, and then the sticks vine charcoal. You can see the difference between the darks and the grays. Okay, they're really different. So you can just go right in there with your hands, with your fingers, or you can use your chamois, which when I had to do this whole setup, I seem to have lost some of my materials. So just to recap, you're going to use the whole page. You're going to make sure you put the surface that the objects are sitting on. You're going to draw that. You're going to add something to the background. And you're going to fill the objects in with the charcoal. Nothing should be left white. You should pull the white out with your eraser. Okay? That was a very long video. So if you have any questions, I'll be available this Friday, March 27th from 3:30 to 4:30 via the Blackboard Ultra Collaborate tool. And you can do a video conference, or you can just call me in, and the number, everything's posted on Blackboard. So good luck. Please have fun. I hope everyone's doing well. I know it's a very stressful time. And I'll talk to you on Friday. Bye.